Hey guys, welcome to Programming Knowledge. In this video, we will be looking at some basic concepts of computer programming and we will also be installing tools to help us code in C++. This video is going to be the first video in the tutorial series on C++ for beginners. Let's get started. The first thing we need to address before learning how to program is what is programming. So programming is basically a way to instruct the computer to perform specific tasks. And by specific tasks, I mean those tasks which a typical human will find it difficult to perform within a limited time frame. So these tasks are generally huge scientific computations or monitoring minute changes in the data, but we can make the computer perform any task of our choice by programming it to do so. So we need a way to communicate with the computer, right? We need to communicate with the computer to make it perform the task. So we do that by using special languages known as programming languages. You might have heard of famous programming languages like C, C++, Java, Python. So there are tons of languages out there, and in this tutorial series, we will be exploring C++. The next question comes is, why learn programming? So the first obvious reason is that computers are extremely fast. If you know how to utilize the power of computer programming, you can do wonders with it. For a typical computer of today's time, an addition of two numbers which could be as big as a billion is just going to take a nanosecond. So just imagine how fast a computer is. It can perform billions of additions in 1 second. That's the power of computers, and it is extremely fast in performing the task. Next thing is that computers are cheap. So nowadays any electronic gadget which is released in our market comes with an embedded CPU. So everything is basically a computer in itself. You have microcontrollers also. So you can basically turn anything, any electronic gadget into a computing device, and you can make it perform the task. Next thing is that computers can work 24/7. So if you have a big enough task, you can without any worries delegate it to a computer, and then computer is going to finish the task for you and keep it ready. So next question which comes is, why out of all the languages should we learn C++? So C++ is very close to the hardware. By learning C++, we can actually relate the concept to the hardware programming. So it's really a plus point for beginners who are willing to take up application development directly from scratch. Next thing is that C++ gives a clear understanding of object-oriented programming for beginners. We will discuss about object-oriented programming at a later stage, but for now, you can understand object-oriented programming is an essential computer programming concept which C++ will make it easier to understand. Next thing is that C++ has a huge fan base. If you have any query, there are tons of people out there to help you with it. Next thing, it is used in application and system programming, as I told. So if you are a software engineer, you can choose your career between application and system programming. Next thing is that it teaches you the difference between compiler, linker, loader, and other programming concepts. This is the main reason C++ is recommended for a beginner. I do agree that Python is much easier to learn and it can perform way more tasks than C++, but in C++ we will be dealing with everything from scratch. Even though there are libraries, there is a way to actually implement each and every concept from scratch. By using that methodology, we can actually learn everything to the core. If you are a person who is interested in the core concept and the origin of every algorithm or any other concept, C++ is the best language for you. Next thing is that it is widely used in applications. C++ can be found in many applications like games, animations, web browsers. You have databases and compilers, operating systems run on C++. C++ has a wide scope. Next thing is that it is extremely fast. So if you have an idea of competitive programming, it is basically a competition where our programming skills are tested within a limited time frame, and there is a constraint. So at that point, many programmers use C++. 99% use C++ as their language in competitive programming because C++ is extremely fast in parsing the data and working with the data. So if you're a person who needs immediate results, C++ is the language for you. These are some of the reasons for learning C++. So now we'll start by installing the tools which we will require to code in C++. The first thing we require is a software which can make the computer understand our C++ code. That software is called a compiler. So there is a difference between interpreter and compiler. We will be talking about that in a later video. But for now, we can understand compiler as a software which can convert C++ code into binary code so that the computer can understand. So some of the available C++ compilers are Apple Xcode. Xcode is an IDE. It comes with an integrated C++ compiler. You have Dev C++, CLang, Cygwin, and MinGW, GNU C++. If you are on Linux, you have the GNU C++ pre-installed with it. In any distribution of Linux, you can type G++ minus minus version, and you will see the version of the compiler which came with your distribution. And if you are on Windows, you can directly go to Control Panel. You can go to the programs and features, and here if you scroll down, you will see something called Microsoft Visual C++. So this is actually a C++ compiler provided by the Microsoft itself. If you are a gamer and if you have installed any heavy game before, you might have noticed that the game asks you to install the latest version of Visual C++ or update the Microsoft Visual C++ component in your computer. That is because, as I told you, C++ is used for building games, and then those games require the latest version of the C++ compiler to be installed in a computer. So Microsoft Visual C++ acts as both a platform and a compiler, and to use it we need Microsoft products. You cannot directly use this Visual C++ compiler. These are open source compilers. Okay, some of these, the MinGW, Cygwin, and GNU are all open source compilers. Next thing we need is an IDE. So what an IDE is basically? IDE is an integrated development environment. So if we go by the definition of Wikipedia, it says an integrated development environment is a software application that provides comprehensive facilities to computer programmers. Basically, what it means is that IDE is a tool which is going to help you write your program. You can actually write your programs in Notepad also. For writing C++ codes, you just need a compiler, and you can even use your Notepad to write C++ code. What you need to do is just type your code in, and then you save it with a .cpp extension. So C++ files go by the extension .cpp, and then when you run it through the compiler, the binary file will be generated and the computer is going to execute it. But why we need an IDE is IDEs know what our code is. IDEs know our language. So while coding, what we need to do is we need to concentrate more on the logic than the syntax and semantics of the language. We need to concentrate on the logic than the grammar. So IDEs are a great tool because they have a feature of correcting the grammatical mistakes you make, the syntactical errors which we call technically. Those errors are identified by the IDE, and IDEs actually sometimes they correct it, some IDEs correct it basically, and some IDEs ask you to correct it before compilation itself. That's a great feature in IDE, and it also contains many other features like it provides you a debugging environment. We'll look at debugging when we are testing our application. The best IDE for Microsoft is Visual Studio. So you might have heard about this. Visual Studio is the best IDE you can find on for Windows development. You also get it with game development, and maybe Visual Studio is the best IDE for Microsoft. It's also available for Mac, but Xcode is better for Mac. So Visual Studio, you can actually download it. You can download the community version. It is free, but this IDE is actually a heavy software. Okay? It is going to take about 10 GB of space. So if you are running low on computer specs, you need to consider other IDEs. There are a couple of other IDEs as well. There are famous IDEs like Eclipse, NetBeans, etc. But for a beginner, I would recommend CodeBlocks as your IDE. So CodeBlocks is a lightweight IDE. You can search CodeBlocks on your favorite browser and open the first link, which is codeblocks.org. So this is the website here for CodeBlocks. This is a open source IDE, and it is really a lightweight IDE. You can make intermediate projects in CodeBlocks. You cannot use it for heavy projects, but for learning the language and working on intermediate level projects, CodeBlocks works the best for you. And it is not even big. It just takes about 500 MB of space. In our tutorial series, we'll be using the CodeBlocks IDE. You can download the source code or download the binary. Source code is for the people who are in Linux environment. If you are familiar with Linux, you will be finding yourself compiling everything from scratch. For that, the source code is also provided. But if you just need a straightforward installation, you can go to the download the binary list. Here you will find different files for different platforms. So in Windows, I'm here, and then you find it for Linux and Mac as well. You can download your version, and here we need to understand something. So code blocks is just an IDE. Okay, the IDE software is only going to be installed. We need a compiler. As I told you, compiler is first required. Then only we can compile our code. With an IDE, we can only write the code. You can download any of these compilers out here. You have Cygwin or Dev C++ or MinGW, but the thing is, it is going to be a bit complicated. Once you download the compiler, you need to actually integrate it with the integrated development environment, that is the IDE. Then only our code will be compiled and run by the IDE. For that, you can actually go to a favorite browser and then type for Cygwin, or you can even install MinGW separately as a compiler. These are some of the compilers, and you have TCC, GNU. The problem here is that once you download the compiler, you need to add it to the path. This is a complicated process, and for a beginner, I would not recommend adding compilers to the path and then integrating it with the IDE. So what I recommend is just directly download this file which says codeblocks 17.12 MinGW setup.exe. What this is codeblocks provides a inbuilt MinGW compiler along with the environment. This setup will contain the MinGW compiler, and then by installing itself, you install the compiler also in the environment. So the compiler is not set to work in the path. I mean, the compiler won't work in the whole computer, but it will only work in the environment in which codeblocks is installed. So once you download this setup file, you will be having a compiler, but that compiler will work only in the codeblocks environment. So that is actually recommended for a beginner, but if you like to explore more, we'll have a separate video on how to download external compilers and link it with our IDE. So Visual Studio doesn't need a linking because it directly uses the Microsoft Visual C++ compiler. So other compilers, we need to integrate it with the IDE. So for now, we are directly going to download this one. You can choose any of these mirrors. I'm going to go with FOSS-Hub. So once you are in FOSS-Hub, you need to wait for a few seconds download gets started, and you need to start the download. So I'm going to pause the video till it gets downloaded. Okay guys, so my download is completed, so I'm going to close it. I'm going to open the downloads folder, and in the programs I'm going to find the code block setup file. So this is a very straightforward installation in Windows. You just have to click next, and then you need to agree the terms and conditions. Leave it as it is. We need all these plugins, and you can actually change the destination folder. I'm going to leave it as default. I'm just going to click on install. So this extraction process is going to take about a minute, and once it's ready, we can launch our CodeBlocks IDE. So it is basically extracting the files and the compiler. So the compiler comes with the IDE itself. So you can just click on yes, and then it's going to open. And we can close this wizard. We can just click finish and finish over here. And here it says that a compiler is detected. The GNU GCC compiler, that is the MinGW compiler. You need to just click on this and then click OK. Now that is inside the code block, so it just comes with it. So you can, once you hover over the mouse, you can see the path of the MinGW compiler. It's inside the code blocks environment. So you can click OK. So you can just click OK. And this is the interface of code blocks. For now, we are just going to go create a simple application. Just click on create a new project, go to the console application. So all these are different kinds of applications we can develop with C++, but for now we are going to just go with console applications. So you can just click on go, and then we can skip this page. We need to select the language, so just select C++, click next, and then we need to give a project title. So I'm just going to say CPP1, and then the folder to create project in, I'm going to browse it. I'm just going to put it in my desktop. You can choose any location of your choice, and then just click OK. So here the file name will be created. So the .cbp extension stands for code blocks per project file. That file is directly accessed by the code blocks IDE, and inside that you will find a sources folder in which your CPP file will be there. CPP is the C++ file and CBP is a code blocks file. You can just click on next, and then you can leave everything as it is. It is just a compiler configuration, and then you are ready to code. So here in the left hand side you can see in the workspace you have CPP, and then inside that you have a subfolder known as sources. You can just click on plus, and inside that you will find a main.cpp file. So if you double click it, you will have the basic program over here. So this program just prints hello world to the console. If you want to run it, you can just press F9 or this button over here which says build and run. If you just click on this, it is going to build the application, it is going to run it, and here on the console we see hello world. So congratulations guys, we just compiled our first C++ program. So as I told you, these are some of the lines provided by the by the IDE. So it just returns it with the return code, and then there's the execution time. It just took 0.022 seconds to execute this code, and these are some of the features of the IDE. So what we wrote is just this thing. You can actually tinker around with this. You can actually change this line. You can make it as welcome to programming knowledge, and then once we run it, okay, sorry, I did not build it. Once we build and run it, we are going to see the output as welcome to programming knowledge. So that's all for today. Thank you.